Divorce, a Regis bankruptcy, and a Regis personal injury claim have in common? Regis lawyers. Lawyers who care, convenient, affordable, respectful, and experienced. For over 20 years, we have helped thousands throughout the Hudson Valley, New York City, and Long Island. We work 100% for the 99%. For a free consultation with an experienced attorney, call or text us at 212-766-1100. And yes, we speak Spanish.
Interested in obtaining life insurance coverage through their workplace. Again, I'm here to give you the facts because the facts remains the facts. So think about that. Okay.
Don't take the break.
Hang in.
Whatever you can, do it. Okay.
Okay. So, workers' perception about life insurance. When asked, 68% of workers believe a life insurance benefit is more important to them than or their families. 68% of workers believe life insurance benefit is important to them or their families. Overall, women tend to place higher importance on life insurance benefits than men, 71% versus 65%. Why is that? Because more women are now taking charge, running the households, right? So they see the importance of replacing that income. Remember we talked about income replacement versus life insurance? Just keeping that in mind, that it's income replacement. So the women, they're thinking, what if my husband's income is no longer coming in? What happens? Because husband could be the breadwinner, right? The wife could be the breadwinner, but if you lose the breadwinner, you lose that income. So now you're replacing that income with life insurance. So now, of the adults that only have life insurance through their employer, over half, 55%, believe that the amount they obtain through work provide them with enough coverage. However, the median basic coverage offered at the workplace is either a flat sum of $20,000 or one-time salary for that individual. Far less than the experts recommend, because the recommended amount based on the rule of thumb is to have 10 times the policy owner, that individual, that breadwinner salary. So that's being underinsured, right? So if you have a life insurance through your employer, it's also very important to make sure you have your personal life insurance. Almost half of households, 48%, that only have workplace life insurance coverage say their families would struggle financially if in less than 6 months should a wage earner die unexpectedly. That's a huge number, 48%. They would struggle if the breadwinner income is no longer coming into the household. Just 30% of adults with only workplace life insurance coverage say they are very or extremely knowledgeable about life insurance. Many employed Americans are uncertain whether their employer offers life insurance benefits. Only about 6 in 10 can definitely say whether their employers offer it or not. They just are unaware. Again, even if your employer offers it, you need to know having it outside of work is also vital in protecting your family's income. Life insurance products with features that allows employees to keep their coverage. That feature It's called a portability feature. Continuation during temporary loss of work. In the event someone becomes disabled, they can no longer work 6 months or longer. Does it continue? That's a feature you must understand, and you must know that even if you have it through work and you become disabled, or you leave the job and you start another job, can you port that with you? Because when you talk about employers' life insurance, it's based on a group. It's not based on an individual. So when you get your personal policy, it's based on the individual. Employers and employees' views on auto enrollment and communication. 70% of employers with contributory or 100% employee paid life benefits are extremely or very interested in automatically enrolling their employees in the coverage. Nearly half of employees agree that automatic enrollment in insurance benefit is the best way to protect their financial well-being. If employers were to automatically enroll their employees in a life insurance benefit and begin conducting the cost of the benefit or deducting the cost of the benefits, from their paycheck, almost 3 in 10 employees say they would likely keep the benefits, while 44% would first consider the cost, right? Because what's coming out? The paycheck is not enough. So they're thinking about it. And what's the cost? So having your individual policy, again, you will know exactly what the cost is, and you can have it customized to meet your budget, just to make sure you're protected. Just 4 in 10 workers believe their employer does a good job communicating the life insurance benefits to them. Let's talk a little bit about the millennials. Love my millennials. Millennial workers are most likely to seek information about their benefits and coverage details from their employers, because they want to know. They're in the know. They're in the let me understand more about what I need, how I need to do it, because I want to make sure that I do the right thing. And this is why I continue to talk about life insurance during Life Insurance Awareness Month. Because people don't plan to fail, they just fail to plan. So having this information, the facts, having the information to make sure that you're making the right decision for you and your family is key. And making sure that you understand the difference. Again, I know we talked about this before, but the difference between whole life and term life insurance, because this is Life Insurance Awareness Month, you must be aware of the difference. If you did not catch the previous shows this month so far, please, you can go back and watch them. They are on YouTube, Millennial TV 24, Money Talks with Cynthia Abbott. You will find those shows to get the facts, to get the information so that you can properly protect your family. So in saying that, I want to talk a little bit about business policy. Wouldn't you agree there are a lot of businesses, small businesses, and out there, and small businesses drive our economy. Small businesses, we have less than 100 employees. Small businesses need to protect their business also, because you have a business that may be a sole proprietor. You have a business that may be like a general partnership. You have a business that may be an S Corp. You have a business that may be a C Corp. So you have a business LLC. You need to understand business policies is the key in protecting your partnership. Or if it's just you as a sole proprietor, you need to also understand the importance of having term life insurance to protect what you've worked so hard for, what you put in place for your loved one, your families, to make sure that it continue on well, whether or not you're here or not. So let's talk a little bit about the business policies. There are 4 choices when it comes to business policies. Number 1, a buy-sell agreement. Number 2, business. Number 3, key man. Number 4, church. Yes, the church is a business. I will take a quick break, commercial break, and I will tell you about these 4 different types of business policies. Stay tuned and I'll be right back.
What does a Regis divorce, a Regis bankruptcy, and a Regis personal injury claim have in common? Regis lawyers. Lawyers who care, convenient, affordable, respectful, and experienced. For over 20 years, we have helped thousands throughout the Hudson Valley, New York City, and Long Island. We work 100% for the 99%. For a free consultation with an experienced attorney, call or text us at 212-766-1100. And yes, we speak Spanish.
Millennium TV, bridging communities worldwide. We broadcast diverse international content from Europe, Asia, Africa, and now right here in the USA. Watch us via Roku on your smart TV. Submit your own content to 1530entertainmentllc@gmail.com. Download the Millennium TV app from the App Store to stream our shows anywhere, anytime. Millennium TV.
Welcome back, welcome back. Thank you so much for your patience. Yes, so we talked about the business policies. So I will give you more details about how important it is and what you need to have in order to make sure this business policy is working for you when you go into business, whether by yourself or with a partner or partners. So let's talk about the buy-sell agreement. In a buy-sell agreement, the business partners agree to purchase each other's interest in the business upon the death of any of the partners. The estate of each partner must be directed to sell his or her interest upon the death of that partner. All partners in a business must participate in the buy-sell agreement and have coverage amounts that reflect the percentage of their ownership. They have to list the partners as the beneficiary. So let me break this down to you. Now, when you list the partners as your beneficiary, here's what happened. When you have 2 partners, let's say you have John and you have Mary, partners in business of a company. They purchase insurance on the life of each other. So that's the buy-sell. They're purchasing insurance on the life of each other. Each partner submit an application for coverage. So here's how I do it when I sit down with John and Mary to get that, buy-sell agreement in place. I have to submit 2 separate applications, the buy-sell, each partner. So when you have 2 people, the buy-sell, you have the business or the partner that may be the owner of the policy. So it's either the partner or the business that's the owner. The business or the partner may be the payer of the policy. Each partner must be the sole beneficiary of the other partner's policy. So when completing the application, I have to make sure I enter the occupation as the owner Unto the occupation, and it must be listed as the owner or the partner of the business. So the relationship is the buy-sell agreement. Understand? So now the occupation is the owner or the partner. The relationship is the buy-sell agreement. So you have John, you have Mary. So now let's say the policy for John, right? The policy is the application is done, and now John is Mary is either the payer or the company is the payer. And who is the beneficiary? If each partner is paying for the other, they're the beneficiary. If the business is paying, the business becomes the beneficiary. Hope that you understand that. Business owners should only obtain their own legal counsel to assist them in a buy-sell agreement and the policies to fund them. So now you have the buy-sell. Again, it's either the partner or the business that owns that policy. So if the business owns the policy, the business is the payer, the business is the owner, and the business is the beneficiary who received the proceed upon the death of that partner. So if John and Mary has a 50-50 partnership, right? They're going to cover each 50% of their ownership in the business. So in the event of death and they're no longer available, either one of them, then they are able to buy out their percentage of ownership from the company. So let's talk about the business policy. The business policy is a single business owner that may purchase a life insurance policy on his or own life. So now you're talking about like a sole proprietor, a single person LLC. The proposed insured must be the owner of the business. So the owner of the business is the insured. That's the person that will have that term life insurance coverage. The business must be the owner. The business must be the payer, and the business must be the beneficiary of the policy. So when I do an application, yes, I am going to put Mary, all right, as the owner, and Mary as the owner of the business, and then I put in the name of the business, whatever that is. The payer, who is paying the monthly premium in order to keep this policy going? It will be Mary's company. So let's say Mary's company is Company X. Company X will be paying the monthly payment. Comes out of that business checking account on a monthly basis. So who is the beneficiary in this case? Again, business policy. The beneficiary is Company X. It's the name of the business, would be the beneficiary, because if something happens to Mary, she becomes an angel prematurely. Now, that coverage, that 100% of that coverage would go to the business to keep the business afloat. Because no one go into business to just have a business, dissolve just because they died. When you have this term life policy in place, you don't have to worry about if your company is going to continue, because you're replacing yourself, you're replacing your income. So when I complete an application for a business policy, I am going to add the occupation as the owner of the business. Business owner, that's the occupation. The relationship is the business versus the buy-sell. See the difference? So again, in a business policy, the business is the owner, the business is the payer, and the business is the beneficiary. So here we have the next one. We talked about the 4 different types. Type 3 key man policy, key man, key woman, right? Key person policy. The key man is the person whose participation in the business is essential and unique to the successful operation, and whose death would cause the business a significant financial loss. So who is your key person? Who is the person that is grinding to make that business work day in, day out while you're doing other things? Your key person that you rely on to drive that business revenues. Who is that key person that you depend on to make sure that they're marketing, they're doing everything they can to bring the profits in? That's a key person policy. You cover that person. In the event they pass away prematurely, you can replace that salary with the term life insurance. So again, income replacement. So now you're replacing them. You're able to now start looking, advertising for a new key person. It takes time training that person, so that monies from that payout will take place where you are going to be able to take place and take care of those overheads for that individual. So now you're taking care of the training. It takes time, things might happen, and it may take a little bit longer. So now instead of you looking to take additional monies from your revenue to train this person, and in case it doesn't work out, you have to find a new person. Now you're using the proceeds from the term life insurance payout from that key person who died to take care of those expenses, so you don't have to incur additional costs because that key person is no longer there. And so it's replacing that person's salary, and then you can continue afloat. So that money is revenues that's back in the business, and you don't have to take out a loan and set yourself back. If you don't have this in place, you will set yourself back. So it's highly important to understand that key man, that key person insurance. And now who's the owner? The owner is the business. The owner is the business. The business owns this key person insurance. The business is the payer. The business paid a monthly premium on a monthly basis. The business is the beneficiary. So now you've replaced that person with having that income replaced with the life insurance. Term life insurance is easy, it's simple, it's pure protection. So every time you think about what may happen, God forbid you lose your key person, make sure you know that you need to have this life insurance in place. And who's not eligible, qualified to be a key man? A sales manager, office manager, general manager, secretaries, they're not eligible to be the key man. The key man is the person that's driving that business day in, day out. So let's talk about the fourth aspect of this business policy. Churches. Yes, churches. Yes, they're business. So a church may purchase a policy with the pastor as the proposed insured, because the pastor is treated like the key man. Just like the key man, the key person insurance, the pastor is the head pastor now. He's the person that's making this business, this church work on a daily basis to make sure that everything that with the revenues, the day in functions of the church, all the aspects of making that church work for the members and bringing in revenues, that person is replaced with that church key man policy. So the church must be the owner of the policy. The church must be the payer of that policy. And the church will be the beneficiary of the policy. Because if that head pastor pass away prematurely and become an angel too soon, now the church will receive that proceed to fill his place until they can have a pastor or vote on a new pastor and being able to continue paying them to make sure that they are well trained to keep business afloat. So again, the church is the owner, the church is the payer, and the church is the beneficiary. So it is acceptable for a proposed insured to have a business policy and an additional personal policy. So you have your personal policy because you may have children, you may have a spouse. That will go, personal policy would go to take care of them. The business policy will take care of the business. So having those two separate policies is important. So the insured will be underwritten for total coverage amount, whatever that amount is. So the rule of thumb, again, is to make sure that, it's 10 times that policy owner's salary. So because you're replacing that income. So if you need additional information, I will be available to answer any questions for you, break this down for you. But I'm so thankful that we are able to have this conversation today, because having your business protected, you can have your commercial insurance, but this life insurance is just as important as your commercial insurance. So making sure that you understand that the commercial insurance is to protect, disasters, things like that, stolen properties, all those things that happen, that you may need to replace physical stuff, right? Tangible things. With the term life insurance, it replaces the income of that person in the business. And it just keeps business afloat if you're no longer here to provide those services. So thank you again for tuning in. This is Millennium TV 24. I am your host, Cynthia Abbott. Please watch us on Roku TV, Amazon TV, and Apple TV. In sponsorship with all smart TVs. And please watch us on YouTube and download our app on your Android, on your iPhone. Catch us next week, same time, same place, Millennium TV 24. Thank you and have a blessed week. See you soon.